When we started Build for Impact, the idea was simple. It was to bring forward the stories that built people, companies, and the change itself. In the past few episodes, we've met incredible leaders, creators, thinkers, and all of them have shared how impact is not born from comfort but from conviction. And today, we are taking the story back home where Built for Impact itself began, inside the walls, the vision, and the heartbeat of Fusion Business Solutions, or as we proudly call it, FBSPL. This episode is special because for the first time we have with us the man behind the mission, the founder who dreamt of a global company from a small city of Udaipur, long before the startups were even a thing. Mr. Madhukar Dubey, the managing director of FBSPL, a visionary, a mentor, a leader who's turned grit into growth and chaos into a beautiful culture. In this episode, we will uncover what it really took to scale a dream from Udaipur to the world. Now, let's keep the ball rolling. So let's talk about that day when FBSPL began, that one room, some handful of people. What did it feel like and how did it look like to you?
It was chaos, excitement, and innocence all together. Me, trying to do something in Udaipur, few people with me. I still remember there was only one person when I started this company, Dinesh Nagda. Him and me were there. So it was a mix of all chaos, excitement, innocence. People never knew about BPO. They knew about developing software, but nobody knew in terms of Udaipur about outsourcing.
Yeah.
And I'm very sure that this is why a lot of people tell me, Fusion is the one which kind of started the outsourcing industry from Udaipur.
Right.
Before that, there were some companies who were developing software or website for local companies, but nothing like outsourcing or dollar or euro income like that. So, yeah, it still brings a smile to my face whenever I remember that day.
I am sure you must be very proud of that.
Yes.
Now that takes me to the next question. What was the vision when you started?
See, frankly, there was only one vision: to create something in Udaipur, to create something beautiful story from Udaipur for the world. I belong to Udaipur. My parents belong to Udaipur. My mother especially, and I could have started this company in Bombay and Bangalore, where I was earlier before Udaipur. But I was being raised here by my maternal grandmother, and I love this city. I love the vibe of this city. It was a small city at that time. Now it's gone big, and I'm very proud of that too. And it was to just create something out of Udaipur. I wanted to create IT because Udaipur was known for tourism, for marble, mineral, like that. But I wanted to create something in terms of IT, and it's a beautiful something we did it.
I cannot doubt that even an iota. I am sure this is a very beautiful city.
Yes.
Like we were talking about Udaipur, you did mention that you had your childhood in other cities. Why Udaipur? What brought you so close to Udaipur from being big cities to coming to a small cities and bringing it to global?
See, to be very transparent and honestly, I was missing Udaipur. One thing, I missed my friends and relatives from here. I never studied here. I was there in my primary classes here, but after that I went to Jaipur, Bombay, Bangalore, all those cities. Few of us friends, we started to plan in Mumbai. But I was there in between my studies and college few years here in Udaipur. And I saw a huge gap that the youth was not staying here. Anybody who was doing a graduation or something or engineering, they were not able to find any good company. Yes, there was few good companies like Secure was there, Hindustan Zinc was there, RSMM were there, but not private organization like small ones where these engineers can be consumed or graduates can be consumed. And I thought I will do something here. And then one guy said, "Hey, in Udaipur nothing can happen. It's only for tourism. You will not find people." And I said, "No, I will do it. I will do it because first of all, for the love of this city, and second, I knew very well if I start something in Bombay or Bangalore, I will be just another outsourcing company. But here, look at after all these years, so many youth is staying here in Udaipur. They are finding good jobs. They are able to build their homes. They are buying cars. They are traveling overseas. All thanks to this IT. And yes, we kind of started it, but look at how many companies are there now, how many people are getting job, and it is coming out to be a very beautiful story.
Indeed, it is. You started painting a canvas that was pure white, and we have painted a very rosy picture. However, that makes me take to the next question. Whenever we start painting, there are tough parts. What do you think were tough? Was that the people? Was that the money or the beliefs?
It was all. It was a see. Once you start something in Udaipur, people don't trust you so easily. Something new is always we have this that if you start something new, people don't trust you. But one thing I'm been very lucky. Whomso start working with me, whomso I hired, I will use the word hired initially. They believed in me. They say, yeah, this guy is doing something. Let's follow him. And yes, money was not there at all at that time. Raising, even forget about venture capital or seed fund or whatever those words are, even raising a loan was so difficult. I still remember my first 1 lakh rupee loan. For that, I have to attend a orientation course of 15 days. That was Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, something like that. And it was difficult. But see, one thing I know and one thing I strongly believe is in God. If your intentions are right, if you are honest, and if you are transparent, God will show you the way. It will send people, it will send ways, messages that you need to just believe in it and keep walking.
I am sure this might have taken a lot of courage in you and also belief in yourself and your potential. However, were there any days or were there any moments when you thought of giving up, and what kept you going forward?
If I say when, it was not. Every day was a new day. Every day was a challenge. Yes, there have been many times where I say, no, it is not working out. I literally, say resigned myself. I said, no, it is not going to happen. But next day when you wake up and you say, no, I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose myself and let my team down because of me, and let my family down especially. Once you have a family, my wife, my kids, my parents, when you see them, you see a lot of hope. You see, they say these people believe in you, and as a family they will always believe in. But there are people who are working in your office, they believe you will be paid on time, they believe in your vision, they believe this company is going to do big and beautiful things. And that kept on going, that kept on going. Multiple times there was time when I didn't have the money to pay them on a fixed date. But God being kind, he did his magic every time, every time. Touch wood, and I'm so glad he's there. He's there always.
That's a sheer example of conviction, I must say that. Now, I would be moving on to the next type of questions. Let's go back and talk about the years between 2006 to 2018. I am sure they were tough. There were slow growth, maybe limited revenue, also constant uncertainty. What was that period really like from inside?
If I make a movie out of those, it will be 12-year grind. See, one thing I can tell is the enthusiasm was never weak. I kept on believing, everybody kept on believing, we kept on going. Every day was a new day. There have been days when client just left overnight. He just blocked our access and he just vanished. There were times when bills were due and client just filed for bankruptcy. There was time when I could see after 1 or 2 months there will be no business, but we kept on going. It was, I can say it was 12,000 MBAs in those 12 years. You learn about people, you learn about business, you learn about growing, you learn about humility, you learn about accepting what is being thrown at you. And one of the most beautiful thing I learned is when your time is not right, bow your head down, it keep working. Keep working. Don't shout. Because shouting doesn't solve anything. Of course. Only the work, your work will speak. Your work will produce something.
Wow.
Yeah.
While all of this was happening around, I'm sure there was this one day when you felt that it's almost fell apart. What and how did you turn that around?
Frankly, my wife and my kids smile when there have been few days where I couldn't see the next day sunlight. It was just not possible to see. But when I went home, Shweta was waiting. My son was born in the very first year of our marriage. He was there, Papa, Papa, like that. So it keeps you motivating, and your team. And many times when I felt, oh, now we don't have anything, somebody will come up, hey, sir, listen, I got a new lead. Hey, sir, we were marketing this. Why don't we market this also?
Right.
Sir, I was talking to this client and he has something for us, but we don't have the expertise. But we were like, "Kar lenge na yaar, we will do it. We have done so much. Why don't we do?" So my team was with me. Rohit Gupta was there. Dheeraj was there. Kuldeep Bhatnagar was there. Himkar was there. More importantly. So these people keep on coming with new ideas, something. And sometimes, as an entrepreneur, you always thinking something. You always thinking or planning something. So things keep popping up. And glad they worked. Few of the things I'm very glad they worked. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been here. Things would have been very different.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you remember the people, those who've stuck by you all this while. And while you were in this challenging phase, what were those lessons that you learned about maybe leadership, the people, and the resilience?
See, the most important thing you should have is resilience.
Right.
Never give up attitude. I one thing I keep telling everybody, and I like to tell you too, never have second options. Never have second options in your life. You always have a backup plans or something, but from the same business.
Right.
Sometimes I have seen why people fail is because they are trying to do 4 or 5 multiple things. Once you are so distributed, you cannot focus on something, one thing,
Yeah.
My rule is focus on one thing, don't think about anything else, and yes, it will, sooner or later, there will be failures, there will be a lot of learning, and those learnings are very important. As an entrepreneur, you are a first generation businessman. You don't know anything and everything. You will keep learning, you will fall, you will walk, again you will fall, but you will start running. That's resilience should be there, that you should not have second options, and you keep on going towards one aim, one target, one dream.
So, if I talk about the young people today, one constant thing I get to hear a lot is whenever they're not able to stay committed to the entire goal, whenever you fell down, like you were talking about it, like if you fell down, who or what kept you going, or who pulled you out of that, or what pulled you out of that situation?
All the time, it is he or she, whomever he or she is, keep on showing us, with either in my Shweta's smile, or in my son's smile, or in my team members' smile. They believed in me and I believed in them. It's when you have nothing, you only have God and the belief, and you keep moving on that. You keep there have I still remember one day when I knew I have to run salary after 2 days, and we didn't have the money because earlier we didn't have the money. Only when client used to pay us, then we used to run our payroll. So, and the client went on a holiday, and I knew he already informed me, none of his fault. And he said, Madhu, I will be back by 15th and I will send you once I back. And I was like, I need to pay my guys on 6th of every month, or 5th or 6th of every month. But guess what? There was one guy who's a friend of mine who came, and he saw me in a very puzzled situation. He said, what happened, Madhu? I said, I need to run my payroll in 3 days and I don't have the money, man. And he said, I have. Take it from me. And I was like, he's not from that comfortable of a family. I said, how come you have? He said, I applied for a car loan. That car loan section, they have transferred in my account. So you take it I will buy car after 4 or 5 days. So should I call him a friend, or should I call him a God? I think that he was like God to me that day. And he still is. I still respect that guy a lot.
It takes an army to grow one man into a vision, into an entire organization. Of course, but then, like you were talking when you started, you were the first generation entrepreneur, and I'm sure that there have been a lot of learnings that you had. When you began, what was that one thing that you thought was missing? Was that the mindset, the system, or the direction?
See, direction was always there. I kind of knew what I need to develop, what I need to, where we need to be, but systems were not there. It was lot of energy. Like it was like how we call it, तुम मुझे खून दो मैं तुम्हें आज़ादी दूंगा. It was like whatever Madhukar sir is saying, let's keep on doing. But sometimes Madhukar sir is not capable of developing processes. He doesn't know how to develop SOPs because I'm more of a from a tech background, not from a management background. So processes were missing. We were not able to sustain what we were doing because the processes were not there. Something failed, we left it, we moved to something else. We never realized what was going wrong. So once we started developing these processes with the help of our partners and consultants, things started moving in a very different way. We kind of realized where we were missing out. And frankly, I do regret not developing those processes well in time. Otherwise, Fusion would have been like more than a double of what we are right now.
See, there is never an end of the road. That is a learning that we had. And, we were talking about the 12 years of grind. Now let's talk about the good days that ultimately after those SOPs that we are watching and observing today, something shifted after 2018. Fusion picked up a momentum. What actually changed?
There were multiple points at that time. One thing is my brother, who was with me in this business, used to run operations. We kind of parted our ways. He wanted to do something else, so he moved on. And I was finding it really hard how to manage all this because I'm more of a tech background and marketing kind of guy, not operations kind of guy. And I attended a management course run by Mr. Vinod Verma, whom we all in Fusion now knows as the granddaddy of Fusion.
Absolutely.
So I attended his management course and kind of realized he's the one we need in Fusion who can help us develop our SOPs, processes, systems, and data insights. So he kind of came on board as a consultant, and he realized one very important and beautiful thing. One of the most beautiful thing he realized that my wife is more capable in operation than anybody else around. So Shweta joined us, and it was not 2018, around 2017 she joined, and things started changing from there. We started looking our operations or anything as data, not as some mission or some war or whatever. We started looking everything as data, as dashboards, as processes. Once that kind of started happening, things started moving in a very different direction. Like when he came to our office, he kind of realized our recruitment process was not deep. It was not foolproof, Okay, do you know Excel? Do you know Word? Okay, can you do a few things? Okay, you are onboarded. He kind of realized this is not going to work. So he changed the recruitment process. And if you look at Fusion's recruitment process, it is one of the most strict and followed up. And it is, you cannot cross it, no matter what. Even if somebody is my brother or cousin who wants to join Fusion, he has to go through that. And until unless doesn't go past or complete those interviews, he cannot be on the floor. And then the training came. He developed the training. Like anybody whom we recruit go on for more than 30 or 45 days of training, then only he gets on the floor. I don't see many companies doing that around here. And I request everybody to look at your recruitment and training if you want to grow.
Wow.
And with the knowledge and the sheer what I call it insight of Shweta, things started changing very fast. She is one personality whom I respect a lot. She knows how to run operations. She knows how to understand human behavior. She's a master class, I think a master trainer or a class in terms of psychology, how to handle people. And frankly, I'm not very good at that. And everybody, what I call it, everybody have their Tim Cook moment.
Right.
If you look at Steve Jobs, he was a failure in his first what I call it, the first phase of his being the owner or somebody of the company. He was a miserable guy.
Okay.
He was good technically. He was an amazing marketing guy, but he didn't had the knowledge of operation. Everybody. That's why he got fired. But when he came the next time, he found that Tim Cook, and things changed. And where Apple is. I'm not comparing myself with such a great personality as Steve Jobs. He's somebody I look up to. Always read his books, look go through his videos to learn few things. But you need an entrepreneur will always need somebody very strong from operations.
True.
Because entrepreneurs or a businessman are always popping up with their multiple ideas, and they are not macro or micro managers. I have rarely seen very good entrepreneurs as operations managers. For operations, there is a very different bloodline and everything. And Shweta is brilliant in that.
With that, we have come to the conclusion of today's podcast. And I would not hold myself from saying that every great story begins with a spark. But what keeps it alive is the conviction. From one small room in Udaipur to a global company that stands tall on the global stage, FBSPL isn't just a business. It's a proof that impact is built one belief, one decision, one person at a time. Through the struggles, the systems, and the courage to evolve, Madhukar Dubey did not just build an organization, he built a culture where people grow, lead, redefine what's possible. As we close this episode, one thing becomes clear: impact isn't an outcome, it is a mindset. And when that mindset is driven by purpose, even the chaos becomes a creation. This has been Built for Impact, where stories of resilience become lessons in leadership. Until next time, keep building, keep believing, and keep creating your own impact. Thank you so much.